Guys, deluded Guna Szczesny clearly has to return to Arsenal. It's the end of his 2-year loan spell, so we might as well talk about the guy. Firstly, if it was his ability, talent, it's there. It's always been there. Even if you ask Brentford fans when he went on loan there, those of them who are old enough to remember, at Arsenal he's had talented games. He's had good games. You think of the Liverpool heroics, the Dortmund heroics, but he's also got a lack of concentration, and is summed up by, I believe he got sent off against Munich. He's been sent off a couple times. The biggest problem was his application and his professionalism and things like that. In regards to his application, you look at De Gea and keepers like that. It looks criminal to think that they were around the same sort of category, in a sense that De Gea was a quality keeper, but he had problems when he came to England. Unlike Szczesny, he showed a willingness to improve, to silence critics, and now look at him. He's arguably one of the best in the world. He could have a case to be the best keeper in the world, and it's not criminal. While Szczesny at 27 is at a crossroads in his career in regards to his professionalism, social media antics, the off-the-field nonsense that Arsenal carry on with, the problems with his dad, if I didn't mention it before. And yeah, and we all remember Smoker's Gate, the 2-0 against Southampton, which he was actually arguably at fault for at least one of the goals, my opinion too. He's had games like that. The reality is, we all know Wenger has blind faith in players, and it took him a while to drop Szczesny. In fact, it takes Wenger a while to drop his trust in any players. Some players are still riding that wave to this day. The reality is, if Szczesny had chance after chance and he broke Wenger's back and he gave him nothing to go on with. I believe Wenger even got to the point where he criticised him in the press. We all know Wenger refuses to do that even till this very day when we haven't got top four. So yeah, with that in mind, I can assure you guys, Peter Cech would not be here if Szczesny had his act together. How many times has Wenger, there's been a quality player available? No, we have this, we have that. Didn't want to stop this development. He wouldn't be here. Trust me, he wouldn't be here. Szczesny used to be that keeper who would concentrate for 89 minutes and be stupid. He had problems at his near post. He had problems at his corners. He wasn't a perfect keeper, but he showed a willingness, and he has improved this year. 14 odd clean sheets, one of the best in his league, made 35 appearances. I think he was even dropped, if I haven't mentioned it already, for smoking again, being silly. Yeah, he's had decent games. He made 70 odd appearances over 2 years in Roma, and it was intended to send him over there to get him out of his comfort zone, to make him ponder and look in the mirror and see what he has at stake, what he risks losing, and ultimately grow up in Roma. And he says he has. He said he's grown up. He's admitted he was inconsistent, and he's not where he should be. He said he's got a new tactical understanding and new knowledge of the game. It's not hard. It's well shown that when certain players leave Arsenal, the things we used to criticise them for, it magically goes away. Ultimately, he's still young, younger than Cech. Cech can't go on forever. Every year, you see the decline more and more and more. Ultimately, we are going to need a new keeper. I don't necessarily think we need to strengthen that area right now. There's areas that need to be addressed of greater caution. But Szczesny, if there's a better chance to try and claim your spot or fight for your spot, it's now. Personally, I would have thought you would have stayed. I would have liked for you to have stayed and learned from Czech and maybe ultimately learned how to be professional. But we are where we are and whatnot. So there's not much more to say to that. We'll see what happens in pre-season. His contract's up next year. A decision will have to be made. But guys, Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Comment if you've got opinions. Follow me on my socials. Yeah, you guys know the drill. Thank you.